My God. Project Shadow.
A secret research facility. It was a black site, sir. Someone worked very hard to keep this hidden.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. A new Sonic 3 teaser trailer just released at CinemaCon with a bunch of new footage. They just confirmed Keanu Reeves, of all people, will be voicing Shadow. Congratulations, people who were hoping for that. And the director just confirmed their plans to develop their own Sonic cinematic universe of movies and TV shows with a bunch of new characters from the games, giving the MCU a run for its money. So we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. There have already actually been some pretty convincing fan edits of Keanu Reeves as Shadow using the games.
How you holding up?
I keep asking why her.
Where is he?
They know you're coming.
Of course. But it won't matter.
John Wick Shadow coming to end Sonic. A lot of people expecting him to get his gun from the game, not that they cast Keanu Reeves to play him. Big reminder too though, the Knuckles TV show is releasing soon. I will do at least a few videos for it. They're releasing all the episodes at the same time, binge style. It will actually take place before the events of Sonic 3. I think they'll probably end the Knuckles TV show with some kind of teaser for Sonic 3. But just starting with the new footage from the CinemaCon trailer, the new footage started with Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all facing off fighting Shadow. Then it cut to a scene of Sonic and Shadow fighting in the sky on Shadow's motorbike from the games. Then we actually got a scene of Jim Carrey's Robotnik, who's coming back and turning into a more video game accurate looking version of the character. When the movie picks up after the end of the Knuckles series and the end of Sonic 2, there'll be enough of a time jump that's gone by where they reveal Robotnik has turned into this Howard Hughes style recluse after escaping in the wake of Sonic defeating him. And this whole time since the end of Sonic 2, he'll just have been binging himself on junk food, getting super fat like video game Robotnik, until he learns of Shadow's existence and then tries to take control of him. Was totally not expecting them to get Keanu Reeves to play Shadow, but there was actually a big Easter egg for Keanu Reeves in real life during the first Sonic movie.
Movie night is my favorite. Please, 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 please. Yes, pop quiz, hotshot. It's a classic line. Keanu, you are a national treasure.
When I find you.
Pop quiz, hotshot. There's a bomb on a bus.
Way back when they were making that first Sonic movie, I don't know if they used that particular Keanu Reeves scene knowing that they would try to cast him for Shadow, or if it just worked out that way later and they used that, like, oh, by the way, we actually put you in the first movie. Don't you want to play this character now? But that clip also confirms that Keanu Reeves is canon to the Sonic universe. It's kind of like Samuel L. Jackson inside the Marvel movies. He plays Nick Fury, but he also played Mace Windu in the Star Wars movies. And the Star Wars movies are canon to the MCU. Spider-Man references them all the time, meaning that he's seen someone in the Star Wars movies that looks just like Nick Fury. Like, wouldn't that be weird? Like, will we have Sonic during the events of Sonic 3 saying that Shadow sounds an awful lot like Keanu Reeves, the actor in the movie called Speed that he loved?
Huh. Oh yeah. Ha. Huh. Yes.
Huh?
Hold on. One more. Oh yeah.
I don't know how much of the Knuckles series is going to be crossing over with Sonic 3 or if it's just setting it up. I've done a completely separate trailer video for that, so I'll link it at the end of this. But the Knuckles series is probably the first example of this Sonic cinematic universe the producers, the directors spoke of. Like, they will just continue doing more stuff like the Knuckles series and more spin-off movies where Sonic is not the main character. They haven't said which characters they're going to be following in these upcoming TV series or the spin-off movies, but they will continue with the mainline Sonic films. Like, there'll be a Sonic 4 eventually, like whatever they wind up calling it. They don't really make a lot of money on streaming shows, so I think most of their focus is actually on the spin-off movies, and they don't want another Madam Web Morbius situation on their hands. Like, they don't want to turn into what's happening over at Sony with their Spider-Man of shared movies that don't actually have Spider-Man in them. So they're probably mostly focused right now on developing some banger spin-off movies. There's a lot of characters in the Sonic lore that they haven't even touched on yet, so there's lots of places for them to go. I believe their plan is to release a new movie at least every 2 years on a pretty reliable schedule, maybe every year if things go well with the spin-offs. Like, I think they're going to very slowly ramp up. Everybody let me know in the comments, which characters do you think the first side movie should be about if Sonic won't be the main character, he'll just have a cameo during it. They've also released another teaser trailer earlier this year. It started with Sonic beginning his classic spin attack from the movies and the games with the camera following his body as it spins, while the theme music from Sonic Adventure 2 Chaos Control plays. Then it switches to the black and red version of Sonic with the red lightning. It's meant to be Shadow the Hedgehog, his sometimes evil clone. Sometimes he helps him. Their relationship is basically like another version of Sonic and Knuckles from Sonic 2. Knuckles started out by fighting against Sonic, then eventually they started working together against Robotnik, or Eggman, however you want to call him, and it'll probably be the same arc for Shadow the Hedgehog during Sonic 3, when Shadow learns why he was created in the first place, like what his true purpose was. But the trailer depicts both of them using their spin attacks against each other, just spinning around the logo, charging up. And the laugh you hear at the end of the trailer is meant to be Jim Carrey's Robotnik.
It's not big enough, as far as I'm concerned.
Not only is he going to be manic, have these great looks, but we've designed a ton of new drones for him. And the other fantastic thing we're so excited to be able to bring to the screen is his Eggmobile, his flying ship that's iconic from the game.
So at the end of Sonic 2, none of the authorities or the military, the federal government ever found his body. Robotnik had created this giant robot, split the Master Emerald into the 7 Chaos Emeralds. They used those to turn Sonic into his Super Sonic form, who destroys the robot, but they never show you what happened to Robotnik's body after the robot crashed to the ground.
Agent, I want an update.
Still searching, sir. We haven't found any sign of Robotnik.
No one could have survived that crash. What a mess that lunatic made.
Later, when the government was combing the wreckage, they just said they couldn't find his body, and Agent Stone sort of sneaks in wearing a uniform to reveal that he's still alive, and he'll probably be the one to find and save Robotnik so that he can return to try and finger puppet control Shadow to force him to fight Sonic using all of his own abilities against him. Most of Shadow's abilities are similar to Sonic's abilities, which is why they're using the spin attack against each other in the logo. Pretty much all the big characters are back from Sonic 2. They reference Project Shadow during that teaser at the end. That's right out of the lore of the Sonic games.
A file buried deep in our system and dating back over 50 years. A secret research facility. It was a black site, sir.
Project Shadow.
In the teaser, they say Project Shadow was a relic from 50 years ago, so what they'll probably do is just explain it like they do in the games. It'll have it be Robotnik's grandfather who created Shadow, just like they did in Sonic Adventure 2. Generally, the plot of Sonic 3 will be based on the plot of Sonic Adventure 2. In the lore of the games, Shadow was created by Gerald Robotnik, the grandfather of Dr. Robotnik, Jim Carrey's character. They'll probably use the movie to delve more into Robotnik's backstory with his family. Like, you can imagine Jim Carrey getting super ham crazy on all this family relationship. Daddy didn't love me, Grandpa didn't love me kind of stuff. It'll make more sense when you understand why his grandfather created Shadow in the first place, like why he would have been preoccupied with his experiments. But the whole idea at the end of the movie is that the government found coordinates to Shadow inside Robotnik's robot, so he was already going to get Shadow. That's probably why you see him come out of cryo storage at the end of the movie, like because he'd already activated his cryo tank. They're not really clear why it took him this long to go get Shadow out of storage. He probably didn't think he needed Shadow until the events of the second movie, because he only just met Sonic in the first movie, then realized he would have needed Shadow, like, I'll go get that other experiment my grandfather created. In the lore, Shadow was a hybrid clone created from the DNA from Sonic's race and the Black Arms race, who serve as antagonists just in the general sense of the series. But in present day of the games, most of the Black Arms race has died off, except for Black Doom, who was their leader and spent all of his time trying to conquer and enslave worlds, including the Earth. So maybe we get some kind of teaser for Black Doom at the end of this movie, or at least some flashbacks to his race to explain how Shadow can exist when they're sort of discovering Shadow for the first time. The whole reason why Robotnik's grandfather created Shadow, and why Robotnik might hate his grandfather or think that his grandfather never cared about him, was because he was trying to solve the problem of immortality and cure his granddaughter's fatal disease, Maria Robotnik. So the whole idea is that Shadow wasn't created to be an evil being to conquer anyone, or even created to fight Sonic or Sonic's race. It was all about saving his granddaughter, Maria. I believe this actress is playing Maria during the movie, so it's just more of Robotnik's family they're introducing from the lore. And maybe part of Robotnik's arc in the movie is eventually chilling a little bit once he realizes why Shadow was created and what was really going on with his cousin Maria, who is his cousin, it's not his sister. But you can kind of see this from Shadow's perspective too, where Shadow suddenly understands why he was created in the first place. Like, oh, I'm not here to kill Sonic, I'm actually here to help people. Krysten Ritter, who most people remember from the Marvel Netflix Defender series from Jessica Jones, she's actually coming back during that too in the new MCU stuff. She's in the movie, and most people believe she's playing a version of Rouge the Bat. There are also some reports saying that she's just playing one of the human characters, which would make a little bit more sense. If you cast Krysten Ritter, you want to see her face on screen, but they cast Keanu Reeves, super famous person, to voice Shadow, so we'll see. Rouge the Bat is pretty critical to the Sonic lore. Eventually during the game, she helps Sonic defeat Black Doom, but I'm not expecting Black Doom to be like a real main villain of Sonic 3. I still think that Robotnik is meant to be one of the main villains for most of the film. What they might do after they resolve all the conflicts during the movie is they might tease Black Doom for like a future film if they do a fourth movie. For the most part though, all the big characters from Sonic 2 are back, like Tails, Knuckles. If there's any other Easter eggs or references that you spotted in any of the teasers that they dropped for Sonic 3, just write them below in the comments, and I'll do more trailer videos as they release them later this year. The movie's not coming out till the end of the year, so it's going to be a while before we get the next big trailer. There's a bunch of big stuff coming up. My next big video will be for X-Men 97 Episode 6. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss that. Everybody click here for that. I'll update the link as soon as I post it. And click here for my Knuckles trailer video and Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.